Howdy, Manal. No need to respond if you don't wanna. Oh.
So everyone can hear you.
Hi, Steve.
Hello, Vincent. I'm
Hey,
Manal.
hi. How are you? Can you hear me, Manal?
Good. Yes.
Awesome.
Kids are asleep? Or
It's evening time here. How about yourself? Where are you from?
I'm in Saudi Arabia. And
Oh,
from?
is it
From?
is it the same time as in Singapore?
No, it's 1 p.m.
Oh,
So,
it's 1 p.m. Okay, so it's sunny afternoon.
yes.
Awesome.
Very sunny. Well, it's Saudi Arabia, so it's always sunny this
So
time
it's
of the
sunny.
year.
Hey, welcome to Singapore too. It's pretty much the same place.
Nice and humid in the summer at times.
So, do you hear me, guys? Do you hear me clear? Or if, let's try this. I'm going to put on my mic. You hear me clearer like that? Which one is better for you?
Either works well for me. If you're moving away from your computer, I imagine that one might work slightly better.
This one, you mean? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna give it a shot then. Sometimes the cable does get in the way, but yeah, it's okay. It's manageable. How was the talk at right immediately after the introduction, which was like about an hour ago, no?
Yeah, it was good.
Awesome. Were you the one
Very good.
giving the talk, Manal?
No, I'm just hosting.
Right.
Today.
Is Roma, was it?
It was Ruby May.
Ruby, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And Steve, do you want me to host this one, or are you gonna be there? Did you
I'll
take a
be.
break, by the way?
Sorry?
Did you take a break?
No, I was I don't know what the break is. I was troubleshooting email and I even got to call to someone just then.
He
So,
doesn't know what a break is, yes.
yeah, well, what is this self-care thing you speak of?
I don't know, yeah.
If you want to host, I'm happy and I'll join in. Otherwise, I can host 'cause I'm going to be here either way. So
I could. I'm gonna be here. I'm taking that thing that we call break after this session. So at least you can get to your emails.
yeah, that'd be cool.
And do you need anything in particular? You know, screen share, anything?
I will
on
be
my-
sharing a screen, yes, and then we'll take it from there, and then it's pretty easy. I mean, yeah, I don't need much. I have everything I need here. Yeah, and your energy, of course.
Everything
Yeah.
I need.
Yeah.
So did you try sharing? Because there was some issues that
Oh,
you know,
we
for some.
had a test this morning anyway.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Let's do a test then. Let's see if it works. Because every time I share something, I won't be able to see you guys. I think this is how it works.
Yeah, I
Well,
will talk to Blue Jeans about that because it does seem to be the case at times. So I'm going to try and work it
Yeah.
out, at least on the browser.
well,
How about this? Can you see the screen now?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so if I do this, okay? See, the thing is, if I see this screen here, I look at the PowerPoint, but I don't see you guys, and I don't have a feedback on how you guys are looking. I can't do, like a facial recognition checks or analysis to know if people are with me or not with me. That's the challenging part.
There's kind of a thing at the bottom that you could, magnify or make your presentation or your screen share smaller. It's kind of,
Right.
there's in the middle. If you hover at the bottom.
Of the screen that I'm sharing, you mean?
Yeah, yes. Do you see the bottom one where it says the embodiment conference? Just if you hover your kind of mouse on top of there's a thing in the middle where you could zoom in and zoom out of the presentation. And currently you could only see myself and Steve.
Oh, currently you could see yourself and Steve. I currently don't see both of you on my screen anymore.
I have a feeling, Manal, that Vincent can't do it when he's screen sharing. I don't think Blue Jeans has that feature, so we're going to chat to them about it. I think
Okay.
you can because you're a presenter who's not screen sharing, but Vincent can't when he's screen sharing, I think.
Yeah, so this might be something that is good to feedback to the tech team.
Yeah.
Then they might be able to solve it for the other presenters. Might be useful in case those presenters might want to look at the attendees.
Yeah, we'll do that. It's another thing to add to the list.
So currently you could see my screen now. Is it big or is it like small? Or do you see like the side bar as well?
Yeah, you're not you're not in full screen, but we can see the PowerPoint.
Right.
Participants are able to change the size of it as they want as well to make you bigger or the screen bigger.
Yeah, so if I do this and then I do this, you guys see the full screen, right? Yes or no?
I just see the PowerPoint itself still not in full screen mode for some reason. But it's
really?
viewable like that anyway.
I see. Is it because the setting on your side or is it because on my side? Curious now.
It's possible it's because you're in browser view, so not all the features are possible, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it's quite viewable anyway. People will be able to see it.
Okay.
So I'll let Manal introduce you with the nice official thing anyway. But I'll just say to everyone who's here at the moment that Vincent, he's like an incredible guy who I think a few channel managers were like trying to steal for their channels because he could be in about 5 different channels. And I don't know how we didn't know about him sooner. So it's really lovely to have got some feedback and learnt about Vincent. And I'm really looking forward to this session. So I'll let Manal properly introduce you.
Thank you, Steve.
Before I do that, if anyone wants to come, have their kind of video on, and so Vincent can have a bit of a feedback and not just talking into the void, please raise your hand. Steve, I can't kind of promote anyone to be a presenter. I think it needs to be done from your side. So anyone, you could raise your hand, you could put it in the chat, and we can do that. Your video can be on, and so we could see you as well. Okay. Well, welcome everyone, day 2, and we have with us now Vincent Young. Vincent is a certified movement analyst and registered somatic movement educator and therapist. And we're talking today about somatic self-care. Vincent, welcome.
Hey, hi. Thanks, Manal, for the introduction, and also for Steve for the continual support. I really appreciate that. And good evening to everyone who is attending right now. So my name is Vincent. I'm just going to share the screen here with everyone so you know what's happening this evening you are in for. Okay, let's do this and current slide. Okay, how is that? Can everyone see the screen? Yes, if you can, then I will go ahead and present because I'm not quite familiar with this platform yet, but soon. Yeah. Okay. So
We're getting there.
Say that again, Manal.
I'm saying we're getting there. We're getting more familiar with it every day.
Yes. Awesome. Let's do it together as a team. We call it the global team now, right? So welcome everyone. This is me, and I'm sharing this somatic self-care and techniques to relieve deep tensions. Busy bees. Everyone's so busy, right? Even though COVID is kind of putting everything on hold, but everyone is trying to get things done. So I guess when we do a lot of that, we forget that we need to actually care for ourselves and our state of mind as well as the state of body. So today's outline is going to be quite simple. Everything is in the S, right? I'm going to talk a little bit about soma, okay, on the body being viewed from inside out. It is easy to see your body when you look into the mirror. Most of the time, people are so busy looking out, they forget to look in. And this is one of the most important things. If we don't look in long enough, we tend to forget ourselves after a while. This is something that you want to pay attention to, looking at your body from inside out. And this inside out view is what the Greek call the soma. It is a Greek word, right, where somatics come from. Okay, so then I'm going to talk about space, right, the inside space as well as the outside space, which is environmental, right? Environment can be inside and outside, okay? So we're going to talk about a little bit on stress, okay? Not the stress typically where we all use it as a buzzword, yeah, which started from Dr. Hans Selye in 1936. We're in 2020 now, so you can kind of fathom all these histories that came before. And of course, then I'll be sharing skills, yeah, which is physical excitations and how do we use our breath, okay, and movement to actually find sense of release and relief. Okay, and of course, then we go through a summary, feedback, question and answer, and then we are done. Okay, so before we get done, so this is just a little quick blurb on who is this chap here. So I've been in this business for about 20 years now, and then I'm an author, okay, and I presented at the Harvard University, and am the first registered somatic movement educator and therapist in Southeast Asia. What does that mean sometimes? I don't know. To me, I think it is really a community that I'm trying to connect with merrily. Yeah, and also the movement analyst, as Manal has very graciously introduced. So these are the people I've worked with, and these are the features that I've been on. And I'd like to share with you and open an introduction here. Don't stress the could have, because if it should have, it would have. Most of the time we are worrying about the future. We are worrying about the past, even though it's gone. You know, we are just constantly in this worry mode, right? And we think that we are the warriors in this process. I would actually say if we could actually come back to the here and now. So later on, we'll be sharing some techniques on how to be in our bodies rather than always be around and outside and everywhere. Yeah. Okay. So, yes.
Vincent, are you going through the slides? Because what I'm seeing is just the first slide. I'm not seeing the.
You're not seeing. Really?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't see the slides moving at all.
No, it's just the first one, where it says Vincent Young presents somatic self-care.
Oh,
so maybe...
okay. I'm in the page 5 right now. Okay, let's see how I can do this. I'm not familiar. What if I stop sharing, or how does it work? Maybe if I go back again like this, do you see anything changing?
Do you want to press on your PowerPoint? Just try pressing escape, because it might have entered some sort of full screen mode while we don't know it.
How about this?
And there, now we can see it. So yeah, let's just go with that. That works.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I'll go with this one rather than the full screen then. Is that okay for everybody?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'll just blow this up a tiny bit more. Yeah, so that I myself can see it. Otherwise, the fonts are really tiny for my eyes. Okay, so let's go back again to this share. The technical aspect sometimes is the lovely part. Okay, so this is good now. Yep, so I was talking about the outline. Then I was talking a little bit about me and who I was working with. Yep, and the features. And this is what I wanted to share with everybody. Yeah, we don't stress the could have because could have, it should have, right? But then it would have, and we don't have to worry about anything. Unfortunately, it's not always the case. So I want to talk about in self-care rather than just talk about the word self-care itself. I think we need to talk about not just the problem, but the solutions. How then do we pay attention to self-care? And it's really about health in general, right? So if we go back to the tripartite of body, mind, spirit, and today we're really talking about the body. Okay, so this body here, because in this mode, I will not be able to have the animation, so I apologize for that. I would actually invite everyone to go into this mode with me and try to look at things from this angle. Okay, so fonts from here. So we want to pay attention to a few things. Yeah, awareness, which is need to be aware of the pain or the pleasure that we are actually having. Most of the time, we're just so focused in, I don't know, it's like everything until we feel very numbed and then we don't understand and we are not able to discern what is gray and what is grayer, for example, right? We also want to pay attention to tension as well as relaxation. When are the times we feel tense and when are the times when we are too relaxed? And are we finding a good center? Or do we even need a good center? So those are the questions that you will be asking yourself throughout the process later on. And of course, here you see a remote control, which means command. Are we in command of our bodies or are we not in command of our bodies, right? Means you have lost the ability to connect with it. And in somatic terms, we call it the sensory motor amnesia, okay, right after Dr. Thomas Hanna. So, and then of course, are you sensitive or insensitive? So if you put all of these four ideas together, then you will be finding things like, oh, I have a migraine every day, and how do I feel with that? Or I have this pain that has been around for 15 years and I haven't been able to, get rid of it. I've seen the doctors, I've seen TCM, I've seen everybody, this thing just doesn't go away. And why is it so? We will expound a little bit on that as we progress. So I want to share a system with you, a framework that I use in my work, which is the somatic self-care framework. I call it sometimes the solution framework, the 4 R's, right? The first thing is we have to recognize what is happening, right? So recognition is the ability to change, right, from awareness. So after recognition, you know what's happening. You have to first release whatever is holding you back or holding you down, yeah? And only then can you, pay attention to those alarms in your body, because if you're not appropriating the address, then if the alarm is still going off, which means your address is actually not appropriate, right? Of course, after the release, we need to rewire, which is a part where a lot of people sometimes don't pay attention to. They go back and forth with the therapist, and then they don't do the rewiring, which is basically going back to their old habits and running the old patterns again. There's physical, emotional, mental, right? And only after the rewiring, we have a new system. It's like upgrading your computer software, right? And then you begin to restore. And restoration is a process where we are full again and whole again. Okay, so a few precepts to take note of. Okay, so we want to talk about the mechanical forces of nature, which is the forces of stress. So compression is it's a force that comes together. If you guys, I don't know if you guys can see me or if you guys can see the screen, it's the force that is coming together. Whereas for tensile strength, it is the force that is actually going away. Why do we need to know these forces? Because these forces are acting on us. Later on, maybe I will stop screen share and you can actually see my face, because I'm not sure if you can see my face now when you're looking at the screen. I just want to check in with Manal or Steve. Are you able to see my face at this point?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I can see any of the participants can confirm, that would be great.
So compression is this force of coming together, and tensile is going away, and shearing force is this. So for those who have, they play football and they have a torn ACL or PCL ligament, right? This is where the shearing force comes. Or, another tool force, which is a combination of this tree here, is the torque, the torsion, where it's twisted around a vertical axis, right? It's similar to shear. Then the bending, of course, which is a combination of compression and tensile. This is a bend. So then on top, if you see here on my little springy here, right? This is the tensile. And then at the bottom here is the compression. And over time, it will break from the top. So this is very useful to know later on when we expound on the neck and the shoulders and the head and whatnot. Okay? So these are the precepts. And then, of course, next here is learn to flow, not fight. Okay? When we are flowing, things are always seemingly very serendipitous. And when it gets into that state, we know things are working for us. If we really have to fight, whether we are climbing a stairs, we are getting off the floor, whether we are in communication with someone, this is really where things are not working out so well. And we want to look at the root patterns of what we are running. Okay? Instead of running away, we are running inwards and understand how things are working or not. So then, of course, space. Space is this thing here that you can see if you are looking at me. It's a we live in a three-dimensional world. This is the vertical. Right? This is the horizontal, right and left. This is the front and back, which makes the sagittal. Now, the space that we are in, as well as the space that is within us, can be understood when we start moving in a short bit. Good, eh? Okay, if anyone feels like I'm, talking too fast, you can talk. Well, just because, she can talk to me. Rest, I can't hear you. Okay, yep. And then,
Vincent, everyone can see the slides and can see your face, so we're all good.
Awesome. So yeah, because I don't have full control of my slide, because once I blow it up, I would have the animation. So now I am exchanging, this animation changes with just minimizing my screen. But anyhow, we are still going ahead with this. So the somatic self-care experience today, we're going to talk about the what and how. Because if you are here, I believe you are already deconverted. You're convinced that self-care is important. So I won't explain the philosophy about why we need self-care, rather what we can do by paying attention to our body. Okay? And of course, our breathing and signs of it. Yeah. And maybe the art bind together. So it's supposed to, this page right here, you're supposed to only see shake. So can I just invite everyone just to look at shake, okay? So first, I want you, right, to find a very comfortable sitting position that you are in, and just sit very comfortably, right? Don't do anything, just sit very comfortably. Just going to jump back to this slide. Now that you're sitting very comfortably at your normal position, can I invite you now to do this for me? Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to the position of your head. And how is that head relating to the neck? How is the neck relating to the torso? Take some time for this. This is where self-care, process of listening, tuning in, tuning out. We're listening to saying to us. Do you pick up any tension in your body? And where is this tension? And as you are sitting on a bench, a stool, or you're probably reclining on the sofa, or some of you perhaps might be at the beach, right, and tuning into our conference here. How are you sitting? You enjoying your space? How are you holding your body? Now, in your most natural state, stay where you are. Don't need to change anything. You just need to do this for me. I want you to pay very good attention to your body right now. Good. Fix it right there. Now, once it is there, I invite you now to do this for me. Send the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. and observe if anything in your pelvis change. Did your chest pop open? Did the shoulders suddenly roll back? Did your spine grow taller? How is that changing the way you're breathing now? Just in case if someone is actually yawning, right, it's because your lung has increased in capacity. Because it is no longer being forced and crunched over. You are actually lengthening, you're giving space. And then the brain is saying, oh my God, there's space, let's take in more oxygen. So you see, just paying attention to how you are sitting and holding your body and understanding the space from inside out can change a lot of things right this very moment. Some of you might not just yawn, you might burp, okay, and it's fine. This whole process of self-care is actually we clean ourselves from inside out. We clear the things that is blocking us. So this is a very good space for you right now. So if you could have the experience of your spine, if you were sitting like this, really hunched over, and after I said, okay, now send the crown up, and your spine actually grew like 3 inches, and you never thought, where's that 3 inches went to, right? It is here, being hidden by yourself. If you can actually connect and tap into that, a lot of things, good things would happen, okay? So we're not just talking about up and down, the right and left as well as the front and back. So now we want to really, access our greatest potential. That space in us has to be as big as we want them to be, as we allow them to be. We're not forcing again, right? The precept says we want to flow. So you want to go to your maximum without feeling a sense of strain. If you are straining yourself, then it's detrimental, okay? And from that greatest potential that you already have right now, I invite you to shake your hands. Shake it. You feel good. You don't have to tell me, you just have to dance in your body. Shake from your shoulders. Allow the voice to change because you're shaking your shoulders. Don't worry, you're on mute. Except for me, yeah, which you might find funny. Rest of you, you can just go ahead and go into your private mode. Good. And just pay attention to the result of shaking. Perhaps feel the tingling sensation in your hands. Some of you, if you feel like, oh my God, I feel a little dizzy here, that probably is telling you the writing reflex, right, is not working so well with the body. It's taking a bit of time because as we shake, the liquid inside of us starts shaking as well. We have our inner vestibular balance, right? And there's the liquid inside our inner ear. And it's connecting also with our eyes, connecting with the liquid in our brain. And when they are all out of sync, and this is where we feel a little dizzy. And it's not dizziness that is the problem. It is the realigning of the different systems in our body. Instead of working as one, it is working in parts. So this should put highlight into what you can do for yourself rather than take the symptoms and keep working at the symptom but not looking at the full picture. Self-care is holistic work. It is not just, I have a headache, I have a migraine, let's pop a pill and then we are done. And then 2 weeks later, it comes back to the same thing. Perhaps you are not sitting to your maximum capacity. Perhaps your spine is not long and is short. And perhaps like this guy here, I don't know, we can call him Bob. Yeah, he's sitting like that. And this is not helpful. So if you are sitting like Bob here, and I invite you to lengthen your whole spine. Of course, then we have this gesture, which we do a lot, and we see a lot in yoga practice. So can I invite everyone to place both palms together and press very strongly? Beautiful. Where do you feel the energy now? Where do you feel the contraction of the muscles? Good. Some of you perhaps feel it in the chest, the pectoralis. Yeah, right about here. Some of you feel it in the arms. Okay. Some of you, if you press and for whatever reason, because you are trained, you will bring your shoulder blade down and you feel your latissimus dorsi. Okay, those are your lats, or we call it the wings muscles, bodybuilders, right? And now can I say, Release the press. Feel. So the look is quite similar because of the effort that you are applying to a particular form. Changes the way you feel. So it is not so much how you look, but how you practice that changes your world inside. And we're talking about the internal space, the inner environment. The external environment can be as crazy, as noisy as it wants to be. We can't control that. But the inner environment is within us. We can control that by simply changing our effort. And that means instead of compressing ourselves all the time, we then relax the compression. We talked about the mechanical forces earlier on already. I invite you to always pay attention to the forces that you are applying from within, as well as those that are acting on you. After we have pressed, okay, so I would love to invite you to interlace your fingers like this. Good. And now spread the heels of the palm away. And now you have your elbows reaching out to the side. So allow your shoulders to melt away from the ears, shoulder blades to slide down towards the pelvis. As your fingers are still interlaced and connected, reach the elbows out to the side without slipping away. Where do you feel in the body? Some of you might feel it in the armpits. Some of you feel this sense of, oh my God, it's a sense of decompression. So this is the direct opposite of compression, where you were really pressing just now. And that perhaps your breath was even stopping. You're just so angry, right, sometimes, and you just put a lot of pressure there. The minute you start pulling away, you go, oh my God, I can breathe. And it's okay. Yeah, so I was listening to Dr. Stephen Porges talk yesterday, and he was really talking about accessibility. We want to be accessible when we are under threat or we are not communicating well with other people. But your accessibility is only able to be given when you have it for yourself. When you are not even accessible to the sensations within yourself, it is very difficult to access it or to allow other people to access it within you, because you don't know how to open the door. You are like, come, I need to talk to you, but your hands are like this, or your hands are like this. And this is not really working very well, because the body language, even as micro as the face, that you are not aware of, is telling the other person something, either come close or to back off. So we want to pay attention to that. We pulling, compressing, or what are we doing? And of course, then we have the twist. So I invite everyone here. You can take either the right or left hand, twist away, twist down. And as you twist down, you will feel something interesting happening. If your right elbow is down, you feel like you want to twist to the left. And if you are a mirror image with me, if your left elbow is down, then you might want to go towards the right. If you allow your body to guide you in that flow of movement, you actually listen to it. It flows harmoniously. And this is where the twist comes in. We want to understand how things are being twisted and where are we going with that twist. And in practice of Aikido, for example, if someone is locking your hands, and if you fight it and the person is really strong, something is going to break. But if you actually flow with it, you actually get out of the hole. This is really interesting. When you actually just roll against the thumb, you hold on to their pinky finger and you can actually twist them to the other way. So this is how you can counteract and flow with this energy. Okay, so now that we have the twist, right, from this position, we want to come back to rest again. After all the experience of shaking, pressing, pulling, twisting, do you find peace to recuperate? Do you give yourself the space, reflect on the things that is coming in channeling, or you are allowing to channel into your body and your brain? After that little rest, same as everything, when you feel like you are just, you're just going to be the last straw that you are taking over your back before it breaks. Maybe it is time for you to remember this session with me. And after you have reached, after you have rested, of course, we want to reach up. So from where we are, the fingertips glide all the way, and I invite everyone to send Fingertips all the way up. And keep the shoulders down away from the ears. You feel now very quickly your ribs starts to open. Beautiful. How does that feel? Yeah. And for some of you here, really, you might actually experience the gas coming out from your body if you feel really bloated and stuck. So our gastrointestines are constantly under pressure. Your spine is not lengthened, but actually compressing down. So you're not giving a lot of space internally for things to happen. The peristalsis, which is the movement of the intestines, is only possible when you have space. Now imagine you being stuck in a box, coffin-like box, and I want you to move. You can't move very well because there's no space to stretch ourselves. But if you give that space to yourself, space to your mind, space to your heart, if you give that space with the person you love, your neighbors, relationship actually improves. Because you're not trying to press and expect. Expectation is a kind of pressure as well, right? You're pulling them. You want something out of them. Deadlines, bottom lines, whatever lines that there is in the world, right? What if we can just, what if from there we can reach up and allow space to happen? Beautiful. Now that your ribs are open up, the intercostal muscles get a good stretch, and those are the assisters of your breathing. If your assisting muscles are able to stretch, your breathing actually deepens. If your breathing is not deepening, you constantly find yourself really breathing very shallow. When that happens, you have to do this again. This is what people do whenever they feel drowned, and then they burst out from the surface of the water and they go, and this is exactly what is happening inside us. It's your body responding, saying, I need air. I need to rejuvenate myself with the basic essence, oxygen. So you have reached up. I invite everyone to clench, right? Top. Good. So now you are in the feast mode, right? And now it feels like you've just run a marathon and you win it, and you're across the winning line. Very nice. You feel this sense of, ooh, I feel really good about myself. When was the last time you feel good about yourself? Was it many years ago, or was it just a moment ago? Or is it all the time? We're not going for the black and white, we're going for the gray, or the grayer, or the less gray. And from where you are, as we clench, we're going to pull it all the way down. We're pumping. We feel the muscles pumping as we pull it all the way in. Come back to rest again. Now, a very simple physical excitation. We have just done once for each this movement here. And can you imagine if you have access to this all the time when you feel stressed? The things that can change from inside out can be expanded. It can multiply the effects that you want to feel. These are the physical excitation. So on the right side, you see the special, the thumb, the pat, the slap, the pound. These are for people, I usually teach this when they have like a pull or a cramp in the heart, right? It's kind of like an attack. How can we actually help to save them in that moment? There's a lot of times when you have an attack, you tend to fight. And guess what? It's like this, right? When somebody pushes you, you push us back. And this is called a reflex. Now, the biceps here, for it to contract, the tricep has to stretch. Because this is the agonist muscles and the antagonist muscles working harmony. It's like a give and take world. It's like a cha-cha. If I move forward, you move back. If I move backward, you come forward. And we have this beautiful dance all the time with everyone in our space, in our life. Most of the time, we don't dance so well. That's why when we feel cramped, we want to fight the cramp, we want to open up, and something has to tear. This tearing effect is actually not doing us so well. When are the times when we tear? So if we have a little bit more time, we'll come back to that, because there are these things that I want to share with you here. I want to really maximize on the time that we have, okay? So here is breathing techniques, right? From the different modalities of therapeutic interventions that are out there, or support or education, right? I have actually distilled them into very simple, understandable layman. So if you are not a yoga practitioner, or if you do not want to hear things like, the respiratory network and all that, I'll just make it very simple here, which is, excuse me, let's talk about even long phrasing. When we breathe even and long. So I invite everyone here to take 8 counts. Maybe, you know what, let's do 2 counts. 2 counts of in-breath and 2 counts of out-breath. Are you ready? Let's go. And voila, done. 2 counts only. 2 counts, some more. Time. Okay. Some of you feel, that's pretty shallow, isn't it? Shall we then now increase the 2 counts to 4 counts and go? Again. So that was 4 counts. What if we extend them to 16 counts? Okay, I'll be nice. Yeah, we are not scuba diving school here. It's fine. All right, let's do 8 counts and go. As that is happening, observe what is happening to your body. What are the words that come into your mind? What are the sensations that starts to highlight itself as you are breathing like this? Do you need to shift, shake, comfortable? Or do you feel good? Do you feel assured? Let's go to the even fast phrase. Okay? And we go. Pause. Let's repeat that again. And go. Pause. Let's repeat that for yourself 2 more times. Good. Take your time. Shit. Only when you are able to become aware of yourself, you then know how to deal with it. Things that come to the forefront, that is seeking our attention. So as you can see what I've written in the brackets here, if you want to breathe really fast phase, right, or phrasing, this is actually happening when you are hyperventilating. When you are hyperventilating, you are actually decreasing the level of carbon dioxide in your body. Okay, your body is trying to help you, save you, right? Because if there's too much CO2 in you, good things are not going to happen, right? Build up lactic acid, amongst other things, okay? So with the even long phrase, you are really allowing yourself to oxygenate your entire body to come down. And this is usually happening from people who come out of shock. And they go, so you see, all of these different phrases of breathing is an insight to what a person is feeling. When you understand the different way of a person's breathing as a result of an environment, we can then extend more appropriate attention as therapists, or as caregivers, or as friends, or even strangers. The fact that we are connecting via this old, blue jeans now over internet is that we can actually bring many people to a same space at one time. We are all connected, and we can stay connected, or we can break the connection. We can choose. We can choose, or we want to tangle and cha-cha with one another. We can do that through the way we breathe. Try to expand our empathy between one another, or even just empathy to ourselves. Because if you don't empathize with yourself, it's very hard to empathize with another. Let's look at sigh and sustain. Everybody, let's go. Sigh and sustain. How did that feel for you? Let's do that again. Again, go back to your maximum potential in the internal space that you're holding. Let's do it one more time. What happens to the body? What do you feel? So this is a manner of breathing, to encompass, right? Soothe ourselves. We want to encompass what? Many things we can encompass. Sometimes we encompass somebody's verbal comment, hair doesn't look so good today. And it passes through your ears and it disturbs your entire system for whatever reason. Because we are waiting for something good, but something good doesn't come, and we hear something that is not so positive to us. We go, We lower, right? We decrease the height of our spine. We cave in. We want to find a way to self-soothe ourselves. For those who are into this whole Systema, right, work, if you know about Systema, it's all about you're taking a punch. How do you redirect the forces around the body so that the attack, right, doesn't hit you, but actually can be translated away, or you can redirect it back to the person. But of course, here in Chinese saying, we have this 冤冤相报何时了, which means to say, if there are so many wars going back and forth, when will it end? Well, let's not start one in the first place. Let's understand when someone is sighing and sustaining themselves, they are perhaps needing a state of understanding. Let's go into percussive, right? Let's try this. Everyone, take a deep breath in. Go, huh, and again, huh, and again. That's right. And again, your own. Beautiful. And again. And again. How does it feel like? It feels like when you're giving a punch, right? Ha! 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 How many times a day do you that kind of breathing where you need to punch everything? It's not a person, it's a textbook, right? It's a bag of rice, a bean bag, a boxing bag, right? Why do we punch things so hard? Are we trying to say something to the world, or do we want someone to pay attention to what we are saying so that they understand us and we don't feel so alone? A process of self-care goes really deep if you allow yourself to traverse on these various dimensions of path. Give yourself a time, space, to actually sit down and connect with yourself. Moving on, we have IAP, which is the intra-abdominal pressure. We squeeze, so we breathe in, we hold, and we force the air out. Let's try that again. And go. That's right. How did that feel? We do this pretty much every day, right? Those, of course, suffering from constipation, you do that maybe once in 3 days, 2 days. Hopefully not, okay? Right? As my mother would always say, you should eat more fruits with all the fibers and your salads and all that. So when we are doing intra-abdominal pressure, it is basically to clear the pipes, right? Sometimes we blow our nose, right? And maybe it's the intestinal clearing, right? So this creates more pressure inside our body to force what we don't want inside to come out. This is one way of breathing to release stress as well. And this specifically is to release and let go, to bring out and clear the toxins, that is not so good for us in our bodies. Now let's go into the in, hold, and release. And let's go. Breathe in. Hold it. Release. Let's repeat one more time again. Breathe in. Hold it. Release. How was that feeling for you? How was that feeling specifically in the holding part? If you forgot that feeling, please do it one more time for yourself. Breathe in. Hold. Still holding. Still holding. Still holding. Okay, I see some purple faces already. Okay, and release. How does that feel for you? Breathe, hold. And you hold it so long until you feel like you're turning purple. The next release is a very forceful one, like, ah. But if you're in control, if you have the resilience, you know how to regulate yourself, right? So in the talk yesterday by Dr. Stephen Porges, we're talking also about, he's talking also about the ability, to be resilient. Are we resilient in our daily lives? Are we giving up easily? Or if something is hitting us, we go like, okay, let's pick ourselves up and dust all this dust away from our bodies and we just go. Or are we fighting? People who sometimes need to do this are perhaps in special forces like the naval divers, right? Or the people who are doing special mental training, right? Some of you have probably seen the documentaries on monks. They are holding their breath, then expelling the whole body with heat, that they dry themselves up really, really fast. So this is different techniques for you to integrate, techniques. It's like you have a library here. Now you have more information. You want to know how to actually apply them. What you guys just did is not just downloading information, because this is not a lecture. You guys are going through the exercise with me. And because there is this very beautiful platform here where you can actually download this information and put it into your hard disk, right, by TEC. So this is really great. You can actually go back and revise this again and again and again, how this is done. Okay. So now balloon lips. Okay, balloon lips are the personal favorite. Yes.
Vincent, I just want to bring your attention. Unfortunately, we're coming to the end of it. So just to get your thing.
Yes. Yeah. I'm looking. It's 6:44 right now. Yes, I have 6 minutes to round it up. Thank you. Thank you, Manal. I appreciate that. So,
actually,
ladies and gentlemen.
It's a little bit less.
Oh, yeah, it's a little bit less. Okay, so it's not 50 minutes.
All good. All good.
It's all good? Okay, you have 6 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, I would invite you to go back to the lips. If you have the lips here, we all have lips, right? And just tighten it a little bit, but relax the pouty part and blow. Good. And let the air out. That feel. One more time. Good. That felt really good, isn't it? Because that is helping you to release stress within your thoracic cavity. And your epithelial tissues, arteries, veins, organs, right? Things that you cannot touch with your hands to massage them, can actually blow in a way where, because of the vibration of the lips, it creates the vibration down the thorax, right? All the way the larynx and the pharynx, and it goes through the whole body. Now, this is really amazing because energy communicates one atom to the next, one atom to the next, and before you know it, we are all connected and communicating well. This is something that you want to pay attention to. We are breathing, and now all of these techniques here that I'm sharing with you, I'm trying to give everything, the best thing I can in a very short time, so that when you actually download this on your hard disk, you have the ability to come back again. And TEC has made it so accessible, right? So after the balloon lips, let's look at breathing through the teeth. Are you ready? And as you breathe in, just tighten the teeth together and you go. And again. Good. Now, this is particularly useful when you are pushing through a crowd, for example. There's a very busy platform. I mean, now because of COVID, nobody's going out, right? You don't have these cramped trains scenarios anymore. If you do, you want to go through people fast, you want to breathe, right? That's going to help a lot. You slide and slip through cavity in the environment. And how is breathing through the teeth different from the intra-abdominal pressure? Is in where the air comes out from. You can actually do IAP through the nose. Okay? But through the teeth is from the mouth. And because it's through the mouth, there's more space in the back of our throat. So what it does is it gives you a lot more space. So the pressure is actually decreased. It is not as strenuous as IAP, the nose. Okay. So these are the applications that I can show you. But perhaps one very important thing, I'll just show you one application because we learned so many techniques already. Okay, I invite everyone to place your hands behind your head. Good. For those who are complaining with shoulder tension, neck tensions all the time, it's perhaps because you are not lengthening your spine, but you're doing this looking at your handphones, right? And that creates a translation in your cervical spine, and it looks a little bit like this rather than like that. You're supposed to have a cervical curve, right? But instead you have lost the cervical curve because it's curving to the front. Okay? So the cervical is a secondary curve in our spine after we are born. The primary ones are the one that's curving forward, right? Because of the fetus when we are in our mother's stomach, okay? Our mother's womb, okay? So now, when you have this kind of a tension, it creates a lot of migraine perhaps, neck tension, shoulder tension. So now, with your hands interlaced like this, press the back of your head into the palms, allow the hands to just resist. Create a very nice pillow, a backrest or headrest for the head. Back of the head is pressing into the palms, the elbows are opening. Beautiful. And then you will see this triangle from the neck area to the elbow, right? So from where we are, as we are continually pressing the back of the head into our palms, let the shoulders go up to the ears. Beautiful. And as you breathe out, expand the space again. And as you expand the space, I invite you to actually open your elbows wider, so that this is to allow the nerve more space so that it can go back, realign itself. Because of the muscular tension releasing, some things has to change. Adaptation. Okay, let's do that one more time again. Take a deep breath in. During the entire journey, the process, the head is pressing against the palms and breathing in. Squeeze the shoulders up to the ears until that small triangular space almost disappears. And as you breathe out, observe how I've changed my breathing methods. I'm just allowing myself to breathe out nicely, so that you could feel two different ways of engaging your bodies. Let's do that one more time again. Breathing in and breathing out. This time IAP through the teeth. Observe the front of your ribs expanding as you do that, so you continuously feel your spine lengthen and aligned, okay? Well done. So now that we have come towards the end of the session. Yeah, this is a quick summary, everyone. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments in the chat thanking you. How amazing this session was. And I now realize why Steve didn't want to take a break and wanted to be here in the session anyhow. Thank you so much. This has been really helpful and, to the point.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm happy that this is going on and it's really been useful. I'll just put it down on the chat. The conference is coming up, October 14th to 25th. So please check it out. You could see the full schedule beginning of October. Look it around, see the sessions, put it in your calendar, share it with your friends, and also the recording there's a pre-sale for that. check those out. If you love what we're doing here, share your comments, share your love for Vincent on Facebook group. It's where we all connect together, speakers and participants and members of the conference. And the embodiment circles are coming up. There are a few coming today, and starting Monday, there are going to be a few of them on daily basis. Someone asked if you are doing an embodiment circle, Vincent. I don't know if you are. Yes, no?
Yeah, I'm not slotted into the slot for the embodiment circle, am I? Yeah, but who knows? Maybe we can talk. I can talk to Steve, and then we can come up with another session where we do embodiment work, in a different form. Yes. How I wish I could meet everybody so we could, really share space and time together. Because this whole self-care is all about being concerned, not just with ourselves, but also with the other parties, showing our affections, right? And respecting ourselves and respecting others, coming together and showing empathy. This is where the self-care is about. So the CARE is the concern, respect, and empathy that I hope each and every one of you would take away today, right? And want to know that you matters and that the frameworks are there for you to engage with when you are stuck, move, right? And it's very important to integrate and harmonize. The things that you have done today is the soma, the space, the stress, and the skills. And of course, if you guys have a phone readily available to you, I would actually appreciate you to do a scan of a QR code and give me feedback on how you feel today, right? And other than that, I really thank you for your energy and your time and sitting down with me this very evening, or morning for some, or afternoon for some, right? Manal here in Saudi Arabia, you said is afternoon, maybe 2 o'clock now, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Thank you again.
I give thanks to everybody.
Thank you again, Vincent. Coming up is, Divya calling, just sit. Meditation for people who don't want to meditate. So that seems like up my alley. Thank you very much for being here, and you could find the link on the portal. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'd just like to say I told you so, Vincent, thanks again. And if you go check out danway.com, I've put it in the chat there. So let's hop across to the next stage.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve and Manal.